Jesus, having ascended into heaven, watched over his followers. Though his physical presence was no longer on earth, his spirit remained, a constant source of love and guidance for those who believed. He saw their joys and their sorrows, their triumphs and their struggles. One day, his gaze fell upon a small village nestled in the rolling hills of a distant land. There, he noticed a young woman named Elara, whose heart was filled with unwavering faith despite the heavy burden she carried. Elara's younger brother, Finn, was gravely ill. A fever had gripped his small body, leaving him weak and frail. The village healer had done all she could, but Finn's condition continued to worsen. Elara spent her days tending to him, her nights filled with fervent prayers. She had heard the stories of Jesus' miracles, the healings he had performed centuries ago, and she clung to the hope that somehow, some way, a similar grace might touch her brother. Her faith was a beacon in the darkness of her despair. Jesus saw Elara's unwavering devotion and the purity of her heart. He knew her pain and witnessed her steadfast faith. Though the laws of the mortal realm were not his to arbitrarily alter, he felt a profound compassion for Elara and a desire to alleviate her suffering in a way that would also strengthen the faith of those who witnessed it. He pondered how he might intervene, not by directly altering Finn's physical state from afar, but by guiding Elara and the community towards a path of healing and renewed hope. An idea formed in his divine consciousness. He would not perform a miracle in the traditional sense, but he would inspire one through the hearts and hands of the villagers. He would plant a seed of knowledge, a forgotten remedy that lay dormant in the wisdom of the past, and guide Elara to unearth it. In the days that followed, Elara began to have vivid dreams. In these dreams, she saw images of a rare herb, one with delicate silver leaves and vibrant blue flowers growing in a hidden spring high in the mountains. She also heard a gentle voice in her dreams, not a direct command, but a comforting whisper, guiding her towards this herb. The voice spoke of its healing properties, known to their ancestors, but now largely forgotten. When Elara awoke, the images and the voice lingered in her memory, feeling more real than a mere dream. Though hesitant, a flicker of hope ignited within her. She spoke of her dreams to the village elder, a woman known for her wisdom and knowledge of local lore. The elder listened patiently, her gaze thoughtful. As Elara described the silver-leaved herb with blue flowers growing by a mountain spring, a spark of recognition flickered in her eyes. She recalled old tales passed down through generations, stories of a healing herb that grew in a secluded spot high in the peaks, a place rarely visited. She had never seen the herb herself, and the knowledge of its properties had faded with time. But Elara's dream resonated with the ancient stories. Together, Elara and the elder decided to seek out the hidden spring. Early the next morning, as the sun painted the sky with hues of orange and gold, Elara, accompanied by the elder and a few strong villagers, began their arduous journey into the mountains. The path was steep and winding, testing their endurance. Elara's heart pounded with a mixture of hope and trepidation. She prayed silently, asking for guidance and strength. After many hours of climbing, they finally reached a secluded area high in the mountains. Following the elder's vague recollection and guided by Elara's vivid, dreamlike memories, they searched diligently. Finally, near a clear, gurgling spring nestled amongst the rocks, Elara spotted it, the herb from her dreams. Its silver leaves shimmered in the sunlight, and its delicate blue flowers stood out against the green moss and gray stone. A sense of awe and gratitude washed over her. They carefully gathered a quantity of the precious herb, taking only what they needed and leaving the rest to flourish. The journey back down the mountain was filled with a renewed sense of purpose. Elara's hope for her brother's recovery had been rekindled. As they returned to the village, the setting sun cast long shadows, but their hearts were lighter than they had been in days. The villagers who had stayed behind watched their descent with anticipation. Upon their return, the elder instructed Elara on how to prepare the herb. Following the ancient knowledge gleaned from the faded stories, they carefully brewed a tea from the silver leaves and blue flowers. The aroma that filled Elara's small dwelling was delicate and slightly sweet, carrying a hint of the mountain air. With trembling hands, Elara gently spoon-fed her ailing brother the warm tea. Days turned to nights, and Elara continued to administer the herbal tea to Finn. Slowly, gradually, a change began to occur. The fever that had gripped his body began to subside. His breathing became less labored, and a faint color returned to his pale cheeks. Elara watched over him with unwavering vigilance, her prayers now filled with a growing sense of gratitude. The entire village held its breath, their hopes rising with each small improvement in Finn's condition. As Finn continued to recover, the villagers marveled at the healing power of the forgotten herb. They recognized it not just as a remedy found in nature, but as a testament to Elara's unwavering faith and the guiding hand that had led her to it. The elders shared the ancient stories of the herb with the younger generation, ensuring that this knowledge would not be lost again. A sense of unity and renewed faith permeated the village. Finn eventually regained his strength and was able to leave his bed. His laughter once again echoed through Elara's small dwelling and throughout the village. The joy of his recovery was shared by all. They understood that while they had found a physical cure in the herb, it was Elara's faith and the guiding hand that had led them to it. The event served as a powerful reminder of the importance of faith, perseverance, and the interconnectedness of their community. News of Finn's miraculous recovery spread to neighboring villages. People came to learn about the healing herb and the story of Elara's faith. The secluded spring in the mountains became a place of reverence, a symbol of hope, and the enduring power of belief. Elara became a figure of inspiration, her story a testament to the idea that even in the darkest of times, faith and community, guided by a higher power, could indeed bring about extraordinary healing and enduring hope. Jesus, watching from above, smiled. His intention had been fulfilled. He had not directly intervened in the physical realm, but he had guided a faithful heart and inspired a community to rediscover a path of healing. The miracle was not just the recovery of a young boy, but the strengthening of faith and the rekindling of hope within the hearts of many. The noble act was the quiet guidance, the gentle whisper that had led Elara and her village towards a light of their own, fueled by unwavering belief. And so the story of Elara and the healing herb became a legend, passed down through generations, a reminder that even in a world where miracles seem distant, faith and community, guided by a higher power, could indeed bring about extraordinary healing and enduring hope. The silver-leaved herb with blue flowers continued to grow by the mountain spring, a tangible symbol of a faith that had blossomed in the face of adversity, nurtured by a love that knew no bounds, and guided by a compassion that transcended the earthly realm.